it really sucks when you're excited for a book and it sucks, right? So today we are going to talk about some of my most disappointing books of 2023, along with my DNFs, because there wasn't enough DNFs to do like a full video. So this is going to be both. This is going to be disappointing plus DNF. I want to start off by saying if you love these, cool. They're for you, not me. Not every book is for every person, and that's fine. I know that. Some of my friends like some of these books that I'm going to mention. But you know what? Not every book is for every person, and I am a huge fan of DNFing, so DNF away if it makes your soul happy. Don't read what you don't love. So, with that little disclaimer being said, we're going to talk about the books that just let me down this year. First, we'll start with some of the DNFs, and the first one is Portrait of a Thief. I don't think this is bad, I just don't think it's for me. It's contemporary fiction, and I don't really read contemporary. Like, there's no magic, there's no space, there's no dragons. Like, I already knew it was not going to be for me, but I wanted to try it because it was one of my Illumicrate books. I just didn't love it. I couldn't get into it, so I did DNF it, and I'm going to be... All of these are actually getting unhauled. Pretty much every single book that I have physically is getting unhauled because I don't have a need to keep books that I don't love. They will be going to either my niece / sister-in-law, because like I let them kind of go through my unhaul pile, and whoever doesn't take something, then I take it to my used bookstore. Next up, I don't have a physical copy, and that is Sun in the Void. I'm debating going back to this one and trying it on audio, but I tried reading it. I had a arc of it from NetGalley, and I tried reading it, and I just couldn't get into it. Like, it wasn't like it was a bad story. I literally don't remember very much about it. I just remember being bored and not being that interested. So I might try this back out, like, if I can find the audiobook, like, at my library. But I will not be, like, purchasing. But yeah, for now, this is a DNF too. The next one that was a DNF is the Jashad Air. Again, I feel really bad because, like, I have it somewhere. I just cannot find it. But I think I got it in, like, a book box. And then I had the ARC from NetGalley. And I also, because I waited way too long to read my NetGalley, had a library loan of the audiobook. So I had literally a Kindle book, a physical book, and an audiobook, and I still DNF'd it. I was just, again, so bored. I can't tell you what was happening. I was bored, and I didn't care enough. Like, I was just like, oh, okay. And you could kind of tell where it was going, and I could have probably told you the entirety of the book within the first, like, 10 pages. So, that's a DNF. If I find my physical copy, it's going to go in that pile, but it's out. The next DNF was another NetGalley book, and that is The Saint of Bright Doors. And this one was interesting, but I felt dumb. Like, I just couldn't grasp what was going on. So maybe this is one I might go back to, because, like, it might have just been my headspace at the time. Because I do have, I think, the audiobook available on Scribd, but I have the Kindle version, obviously, from NetGalley. So I'm like, okay, there's all these doors and, like, all these immigrants, and I did not know what was going on. So I was just, maybe I was overwhelmed. I just wasn't understanding it. I can't even explain this book to you because I really don't know what I was reading. So it was a DNF, but this is like a soft one. I might go back to it. So if you've read Saint of Bright Doors, let me know because I'm not sure. And then my last DNF was actually Smoke in the Sun by Renee Audier, and this is the second book in this duology. I remember reading and, like, enjoying the first book, but it's been so long, I don't remember what happened. I just remember it's pitched as, like, girl dresses up like boy. There's, like, some Mulan references in there. And I remember I liked it, but it was just okay. And then I started to pick this up and I was like, I don't remember anything that happened. But yet I don't care enough to go back and reread the first book. So I was just like, I don't. So we're getting rid of it. We're DNFing it. We're moving on. Like, it was okay. I'm sad because it has deckled edges though. And I actually really love deckled edges. I like how they feel. when you touch them. I don't know why. I feel like people either love them or like they hate them. Like it's texture thing. I love deckled edges. I just like to like flip through it. But yep, that's another DNF disappointment read of the year. So the rest of these books I did finish, but they were okay. Like none of these did I hate. I think all of these got like 3 stars. I just didn't love them as much as I thought I would. And not to cause a riot, but When is Golden Sun, I just can't get into the Red Rising series. I don't know what it is. I tried it on audio. I tried it physical. I literally was gifted this series. Like I have the box set and it's up through, I think, the newest one. Like the newest one's not in it. Lightbringer, I think. But it's like all the rest of them up through Dark something. I really think I'm just going to unhaul the whole thing. I didn't like being in Darrow's head. I think this book would be a lot better if it was multi-POV. And it's not. And I just, there was a time skip in there. And like, I don't know. I just didn't care about anybody. And I usually like when like our main character's kind of a jerk and like they're, you know, unlikable. But like, I did not like Darrow at all. And it's like, he can't talk. Like, just be honest with your friends, bro. The only character in here that I really like is, what's the wolf boy? Is it Severo? I like Severo. Literally made the series. Like, Mustang's cool too, but like, Severo is the only one that I'm like, I really like him. He's fun. But like, I can't keep reading the book from just because I like Severo. Now, if he was like the main character, oh my god, like, just his, but I digress. It's an okay. I gave it 3 stars. Like, but I don't care to continue. And if I do, it'll probably be like library on audio. So I am going to unhaul the whole series because I need room on my shelves. Next up is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. Sorry, not Andrea. Again, this was okay, but it was very forgettable. It was like this murder mystery. And when you find out what the murder mystery actually is, like who done it, you're like, oh, really? That's it. And I said this in another video, but like if anybody has seen Hot Fuzz, okay, this gives me Hot Fuzz vibes, but like not in a funny way. I love Hot Fuzz. One of my top favorite movies of all time. I love Simon Pegg. Love him. Love his movies. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Run Fat Boy Run. The only reason I watched the Star Trek movies was because he was Scotty. Love Simon Pegg movies. But it was satirical. Like, Hot Fuzz with like, you know, the perfect little town and da-da-da-da. All I could think of was we get to a part in this book where I'm like, is this Hot Fuzz? Only not funny. Because it was the greater good. If you've seen Hot Fuzz, let me know. If you've read this book and seen Hot Fuzz, let me know. But I just didn't care. I didn't care about the romance. I didn't care about the fact that these 30-year-old characters felt like they were still 16, like perpetual teenagers. You're like, you grew up and like went to college and what is going on? Why are you still a teenager? So, not a fan. But there's things I liked about it. Like, I liked the ambiance. I love the setting of the, like, Pacific Northwest town on an island. But, man, it was just not good. All right, and then we have Mexican Gothic, which I was really hoping to like this because I read this right after I read Last Tale of the Flower Bride. And Last Tale of the Flower Bride almost made it onto my top books of 2023. I just didn't want to do more than 10. So it probably would have been like, you know, if I'd have done 11. But then I read this and I was like, oh, this is not going to be what I wanted. Like, I knew it was going to be slightly more horror, but like, this wasn't a horror. Which is fine because I don't read horror. Like, I wanted just like creepy, right? I don't really read horror anyway. I mean, I gave it 3 stars. It was just not great. There was like some weird stuff going on with some mushrooms. It was a little too rappy, if you know what I mean. A little too non-consensual. Maybe. Weird dreams, tripping, weirdness. And yeah, there's like a weird shoehorn, almost romance maybe thrown in there, and I didn't care. Not any of it. Just no. I'm gonna try more of her books. I have other ones that I think I would like more. The Daughter of Dr. Moreau. So I'm gonna read that one because I really liked her writing. I just didn't like this story. Now I've also got, which I feel bad because some of these are like mild. 3 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4 if I can find the Jashad Air, are book box books. But some of my favorite books were also book box books. So if you win some, you lose some. A Study of Nightmares. Again, I didn't hate this one. This is probably my least disappointing of my disappointing books. And I will read the second book. This is the only one where I'm like, I want to read the second book just to see what happens when it comes out. I just didn't love it. Like, I thought I was gonna really love it because it's like weird Gotham, doesn't take itself seriously. There's these like when you have a nightmare, they have a tendency to come to life and like you become your nightmare. So like our main character's like sister became this giant man-eating spider and like rampaged and killed the family and like half the town. But like, so she hates, our main character like hates nightmares now because like there's no going back from it. Once you become a nightmare, there's no going back. And like you have to take pills to suppress your dreams. And she ends up meeting and befriending a boy who is a nightmare, but he's the vampire. But he's got his under control because like some of them like people can control, some of them can't. And it's interesting. I wanted more character growth, I think, out of the main character. Because like I get that she hates nightmares and she's got trauma, but it's like she never deals with it. I do like though that she is basically a member of an MLM cult at the beginning, and like absolutely refuses to admit that she's in a cult. But she's basically in a cult, and it's very looks like an MLM. Like it looks people slinging Young Living, or like It Works, or like, look, I'm sorry if you are in an MLM. Like really, I'm sorry, it's a scam. She's basically in like a cult pyramid scheme, and I was here for that. I was here for the MLM slander. I was here for the cult slander. I really liked the friendships in this book, and I just wanted more character growth, I think, out of the main character. So like I didn't hate this, but like this is one that I think I will be not unhauling out of all of these because I did like it enough. It was just disappointing. If that makes sense. And that's really all of my like disappointing reads, DNFs of the year. There wasn't a ton, which is good because I am quick to DNF now. I am very much like, if I'm not loving you, goodbye. I don't need you. I don't need you putting me into a reading slump. I don't need to read books I'm not happy with. So this is all of them. So I'm actually really happy with that. I'm really happy with how my reading year went, and I didn't have very many disappointing reads and DNFs. So yeah, here's hoping we have not as many next year as well, or this year. This coming year. All right, well, thank you guys for hanging out with me, and let me know what you thought of some of these books. Let me know if you've seen Hot Fuzz, because again, one of my favorite movies, and it reminds me a lot of Souls for Forgetting, and not in a good way. And let me know what some of your most disappointing reads were for the year. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye.